morning, Tramley. We are at 6:05 a.m. here on the Appalachian Trail, about 3.5 miles southbound of the Chatfield shelter, and I think that puts us around 3.5 or 4 miles, something like that, of the northbound of the partnership shelter where we had originally planned to stay. So we're trying to take those extra miles and split them between today and tomorrow, knowing that we have a lot more time. Weather's supposed to be pretty good. It did rain some last night. I'm navigating through the woods here to get to my bear box. There was a little bit of a break. It looks almost like just a animal-made trail, and I'm using it to try to navigate my way and go get our bear container, not bear box, bear container. I have a bear canister, a BV 500, I think is the one I have. And yeah, so it's mostly, looks like mostly ferns here. So I'm hoping I'm not hitting anything that looks poisonous. I'm trying to watch out for any leaves of 3. I've got a big jump here to make over to where it's at. I do see it hit where I hit it under this blowdown, between a blowdown and a rock. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna grab that. I'll show it to you, and then head back up to the tent, decide whether we're having real breakfast or just gonna grab some breakfast bars and start moseying down trail, which is what I think is probably gonna happen, because we'll probably do several short stops today by starting quite a bit earlier than we usually do. We usually get out around 9. We're trying to get around 6, but it's already 6, so we're gonna try to get out by 7. All right, we'll see you guys down trail. Good morning, trail. We are packed up. As you can see, the tent site is clean. You can always see the little square. It looks like a rectangle from the tarp where it was. Aquamarine is ready to roll. She's grabbing her trekking poles. She grabbed mine for me a minute ago, and we are all packed up. About to head southbound, and we're leaving mile, I think it's 435.9. We're aiming for between 12 and 15 miles, depending on which place we make it to. Big day today. Probably gonna make a few stops. There is some rain right after we at least packed up, so we'll be walking in the rain a little bit. Hey guys, we're a little down trail now, and I just wanted to show you all the lovely rocks. If you've seen Frozen, we're fully expecting some trolls to pop up at any moment. But in all reality, I gotta say, I haven't done Pennsylvania. I've watched several thru hikers do Pennsylvania as I slide down a rock. It's not how that's supposed to work. And they call it Rocksylvania, but I was just saying, if it's worse than Virginia, that's a lot of rocks, because between Grayson Highlands, well, and I think we're still technically maybe in Grayson Highlands State Park, but there's a lot of rock through this portion of Virginia that we have done, from all the way from really not far from Elk Garden to here. And so, yeah, a lot of rocks, so be prepared to navigate those. Matter of fact, the older gentleman, I don't know if I mentioned it in yesterday's video, I know I said he had gotten hurt. He mentioned what he did was fall down some rocks. So you definitely have to be careful, watch your steps, and you know, lift your feet. Those are a few things I try to remind myself, and I've already missed this morning, is not lifting my foot and bumping a rock, or not paying attention and a foot kind of sliding down or a little bit of the side of a rock. Those things can happen really quickly and turn on you if you're not careful. So always remember to pay attention. Matter of fact, that's why I'm videoing this way, not towards me, and I'm not really even looking where I'm videoing too much, because I'm looking where my feet are planting and hoping for a nice open trail on the other side of this little section of rock. Looks like maybe not too bad, but anyway, we are moseying on down. I always seem to film a little more towards the beginning of the trail than later. Usually by the end of the day, I'm ready to push on to the tent site that we're staying at, or I'm feeling a little bit more in my body. So all right, we went from rocks to roots. All righty guys, well, we will see you down trail. If anybody knows what these flowers are, make sure to comment down below what they are. They're really pretty. I don't remember seeing them on any other section I've been on yet. At least I don't recall them. What's up, folks? That is what we just climbed up, and that is where we're headed. I know that on video it's hard to tell
But the fact that you can't see where the trail sort of ends at the top tells you that it's a continued climb. So it's not a really long climb. Like yesterday we did that 3.5 miles. This is, I think, like a sixth of that, but I think it's like a half mile or something. But nonetheless, yeah, I think it's a half mile to 3/4 mile. So it's a lot shorter than what we did yesterday, but that doesn't change. It's a climb and it's a lot steeper. So there's that side of things. So just having to carry the weight up and taking a short break about halfway or so. I'm about to check where we're at. Figured I'd check in with y'all.
What's up, guys? We are at mile 537.9. Started at 535.5, I believe, or no, 539.5. So doing the math, I believe that's 1.6 miles, which isn't too bad considering a lot of it was climbing. We are now headed downhill. Then we have another short 3 to 4/10 of a mile climb, and then mostly downhill to where we hope to get to, which is Pigh Shelter tonight. That would be 15.5 miles, and it would be Aquamarine's longest hike. It would be my longest with a pack. I've done 16, but I did part of that 16 slack pack in one day. So I did like about 2/3 of it, like 11 miles or something with my pack and 5 without or something. So anyway, that was in the last video when we were hiking by Watauga Lake. But we started at 7:20 this morning. We got up at 6 a.m. Temps were in the mid 50s, and it's very overcast. We had some light rain through the night and this morning, but nothing heavy. Definitely made for a good night's rest. Definitely made for an easy morning to get up. We did make kind of a mistake, and that is we didn't plan enough for water. So it was going to be 6 miles to the next water source from where we started. We still have a little under 4 miles to that water source, which is going to be the Mount Rogers National Headquarters and Partnership Shelter right past that. That's where we got some water waiting to that we can get there, water sources. But the good thing is Aquamarine had a full regular water bottle, the one she carries, kind of like this one. And so she had about 28 ounces full, and then she had about another 4 or so ounces, and I had about 8. So for that distance, I was able to take her other 4 ounces from the extra bottle. And then, sorry, I'm navigating rocks, so if you only see half my head, that's why. But yeah, and then we know that she probably will not go through a full 28 ounces in 6 miles. So if I really, really need water, I can definitely get it from her. But I think once we're over the next climb, water won't be as much of a concern because the hike will be a much easier hike, and because it is cooler, a lot of shade. We don't have a lot of harsh sun or anything around us. Sweating a lot though, even for around 60 degrees this morning, 62, something like that right now. But yeah, just wanted to kind of give you a check-in with some things. Hope you enjoyed the little green lizard, or not green, sorry, little orange lizard that we just saw a few minutes ago. Aquamarine saw that and pointed it out and got some good footage that I shared as well. So hope you enjoyed that. And I got to catch up to her. She is taking off down trail. The slow walk across. That's the speed I feel like I'm climbing over now.
That's how he feels going over that rock, you know? Thanks for getting out of the way, because I don't like you. Just kidding, you're adorable, but no. I'm glad I didn't squish him.
Hey y'all, we are headed up our second climb of the day. It's supposed to be about 3 to 4/10 of a mile and not too steep, but we're hearing some cool woody woodpeckers. So I thought I'd let you listen to them. Hope you enjoyed the sounds of the woodpecker on the Appalachian Trail. I'm gonna get back to my climb behind this gal right here. What was it? walking through a sea of green. Hey everybody, so we have crested our second climb for the day, and the good thing is most of the remaining part of this trip for today is more down than up, so that is a win. We have passed a total of 6 through hikers so far headed northbound, all really nice, and look like they're pretty happy being past the 500-mile mark for them, which is cool. Just to kind of give you a little insight, well, first of all, I wanted to give a shout out to Pony. He was the only one I got a chance to stop and say hey to. He was the first of the 6 I saw. But wanted to also give you kind of a little sneak peek into what we're planning on doing this year, what our goals are. So we've got this section that we're trying to do, which will be the 31 miles north of Fox Creek, all the way up to the old schoolhouse and Old Settlers Museum. By the 1850s farm there, and I didn't realize that was an alpaca farm, so kind of cool. If you have time and you're making a trip out this way, maybe like alpacas like my cousin does, shout out to you, Laura, you know, you might want to plan for that. So anyway, that's that. What else? I do have next weekend a plan to try to go do the 22 miles that sits north and south of Damascus. Damascus is kind of in the middle. It's 2 different pieces that I didn't get to finish on previous hikes that I'm going to go do on an overnight with a buddy of mine. It'll be his first trip backpacking with me out on trail, and I'm excited. I think it might be his first overnight trip. I'm not sure. I know he's done plenty of hiking, and he has done overnights. He was in the military, so you know, but anyway, excited to go out and do an overnight with him and hopefully hang out with my buddy Shep a little as well if all goes as planned. As you can see, Aquamarine has got her trail legs right now and enjoying the downhill. She's taken off, so I'll have to catch up shortly. But the rest of the year, we plan to continue by going back to where we started on this trip at the Old Settlers Museum and heading northbound for what will be about another 170 miles in total that we'll try to accomplish this year, finishing somewhere around or just the other side of, I guess you could say, McAfee Knob, or McAfee Knob, depending on how you say it. And so if you aren't familiar with that, look it up. Some beautiful pictures, and hopefully I'll have some at the end of the season for you as well. We are trying to hike the entire Appalachian Trail. My goal is to hike at least 200 miles a year and finish in no more than, well, what will be 9 more years. So basically chomp off about 200 miles a year for the 2,000 plus miles. But love to have your comments down below, your questions, things like that. Right now she has started to get out of sight, so I'm going to pick up my pace a little bit and we will talk at you down trail. Hey guys, just seeing these signs, not really sure what they mean. Might try to figure out later, but see, bearing tree. Oh, I think it's a measurement tree because this corner is approximately, and I think they help give you distance, and it's your property boundary, national forest land beyond this sign and stuff, which explains the markers that we've been seeing. I saw another one earlier, so it's national forest markers. I forget which national forest we're in. I think it's either Jefferson, maybe Jefferson National Forest. Probably explains the red paint over there on that tree too. So another little insight on the Appalachian Trails. It crosses tons of different spaces, right? So kind of like free open space, protected space, national forest space, private land, and everything. And I think, you know, it's really interesting and cool how they were able to basically work it out so you could have this footpath that traversed, what is it, close to 200 miles, I think now, you know, from Springer Mountain to Mount Katahdin and Springer Mountain in Georgia. And so it's a really fascinating thing. And I joke, it's kind of like an interstate, right? It's like driving Route 66 cross country, but instead of doing a road trip, you're just doing it with your feet.